Hello students, this is chapter number 19, excretory products and their elimination. And in continuation to this chapter, this is video number 3. In this video, the first thing that I'm going to discuss is the regulation of kidney function. In the previous videos, I have explained you the structure of kidney, structure of nephron, urine formation, and countercurrent mechanism. So now today we will be studying about how the kidney function is regulated. Children, the kidney function, it is a hormonal feedback mechanism is involved in the kidney function, and it involves hypothalamus, JGA, that is juxtaglomerular apparatus, and the heart. The change in the blood volume and in the body fluid volume and ionic concentration activates the osmoreceptors present in the body, and in turn, they help in the urine formation or the function of the kidney. Now, the very first, let's study how hypothalamus regulates the kidney function. It regulates the kidney function by producing ADH, antidiuretic hormone, or also known as vasopressin. Now, when the body fluid level, decreases, then the osmoreceptors, they come to know about it, they get stimulated, and they stimulate the hypothalamus to release this particular hormone. Now, this hormone, that is ADH hormone. Now, when this ADH hormone is released, it in turn stimulates water reabsorption from the DCT and collecting duct. Thus, ADH prevents diuresis, and it also increases the body fluid volume. Now, the increase in fluid volume, now when slowly this fluid volume increases, then there is a feedback mechanism that switches off the osmoreceptors, that in turn suppresses the ADH release, and that completes the feedback. ADH constricts the blood vessel also, resulting in increase in BP. That is the blood pressure, glomerular blood pressure, and that increases the glomerular blood flow, and that in turn increases the GFR, that is glomerular filtration rate. Now, the second regulation is done by JGA, that is juxtaglomerular apparatus. A juxtaglomerular apparatus, it is a sensitive region that is formed by the cellular modification of DCT. You can see over here, okay, let me change the color. It's on the red, you will not be able to see the red color. See, this is the DCT, right? The distal convoluted tubule. And this is the afferent arteriole. This is the afferent arteriole. This is the efferent arteriole. Now, over here, there is JG cells, that is juxtaglomerular cells. Now, these juxtaglomerular cells, you can see over here, juxtaglomerular cell, it releases renin. Actually, juxtaglomerular apparatus, it regulates the glomerular filtration rate by renin-angiotensin mechanism. As I told you just now, these juxtaglomerular cells, which is these yellow color cells, which you can see over here, it produces renin. It releases renin. Now, this renin, in turn, converts the angiotensinogen, which is present in the blood, into angiotensin 1, and then this angiotensin 1 is converted into angiotensin 2. Right? So I'll repeat again, the juxtaglomerular cell, it releases renin, and the renin in turn converts the angiotensinogen, which is already present in the blood, into angiotensin 1, and then into angiotensin 2. Now, this angiotensin 2, it has two functions. One, it increases the glomerular blood pressure, and thus it also increases the glomerular filtration rate. Second, it activates the adrenal cortex, the adrenal gland, which is just above the kidney. It activates the adrenal cortex and it releases aldosterone. Now, this aldosterone in turn causes the reabsorption of sodium ion and water from the distal convoluted tubule, and that also leads in increase in blood pressure and increase in GFR. Now, the third regulation is by ANF, that is atrial natriuretic factor. This ANF, it checks on the renin-angiotensin mechanism. Increase in blood flow to the atria of the heart, that releases this ANF, and that this ANF causes vasodilation, that is dilation of the blood vessel. The blood vessels dilates, or you can say relaxes, and then thus decreases the blood pressure. So these are the three ways by which the kidney function is regulated. Now, let us understand what is micturition. Micturition is the release of urine from the urinary bladder through the urethra. In common term, it is termed as urination. We all know that it occurs involuntarily in children up to 4 to 5, but it can be regulated. It is voluntarily regulated in adults. If you see to the steps of the micturition, first is there is gradual filling of the urinary bladder. Then the urinary bladder stretches. There is a stretching of urinary bladder. Now, when the walls of the urinary bladder has got stretch receptors, so the stretch receptors on the walls of the urinary bladder sends impulse to the CNS, central nervous system. This central nervous system passes on the message to the motor neurons, and there is contraction of the smooth muscles of the bladder, and this in turn stimulates the relaxation of the urethral sphincter, which leads to urination. So this is the step of micturition. The neural mechanism actually helps in causing the micturition. This is known as micturition reflex. In adult human, we excrete out nearly 1 to 1.5 liters of urine every day. Urine is light yellow in color, and it's we all know it's a watery fluid, and it's slightly acidic, that is pH 6, and has a characteristic smell. Now let us discuss about the excretory disorders. We'll be taking 3 disorders. One is uremia, that is when there is blood in urine, urea waste accumulates in the body. That causes uremia, nausea, vomiting, loss of weight loss, shortness of breath. Then kidney failure. The kidney stops functioning, which results in waste accumulation. What are its symptoms? Shortness of breath, chest pain, headache, weakness. If there is acute kidney failure, then that is corrected by kidney transplant. Renal calculi. Many a times we say there is stones in the kidney. So this is that particular thing. It forms the stones in the kidney. And we all know that these are the oxalate stones, and severe pain is there in the lower abdomen. Many a times vomiting, chill, fever is also there. So these are some of the excretory disorders. With this, the chapter is finished, children. Thank you.